Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Courtney Lynn, and today's video is an extreme clean with me. I'm coming at you with lots of summer cleaning motivation. This is like an ultimate cleaning and organizing video. So if you are here looking for some inspiration, I have got you. This video is quite a bit longer today. I wanted to make it longer than most of my videos, so that way you can spend some time cleaning along with me today and see how I clean this room from top to bottom. So like I said, it's not only cleaning, but it's also organization. So I had lots of places in my room that needed to be organized and needed to be kind of redone. Things get out of hand and out of place. So on my to-do list today, I'm creating two sections. The first section, I'm writing down all the areas in my room that need to be organized, and the second section is everything that needs to just be clean today. So starting off here in my closet, now I'm not doing the entire closet, I'm just doing the areas that are bad. And so it happens to be these little shelves here in my closet, and then just my everyday shirts, and then everything underneath my everyday shirts kind of gets, I just kind of throw things in there when I'm not sure where they need to go. So I'm starting off with that today. These shelves just kind of become like a catch-all to me, and so I want to make this bottom shelf especially more accessible to me. I use my laptop, my camera, and my microphone multiple times a week, and I don't have a good spot for those. So I'm moving whatever I had right here in that spot. I'm gonna move it to the top of my closet where I don't access it very much, and putting the things that I do access more often, I'm putting them down here where I can get to them easily. Now today's extreme cleaning video is going to be part of a series of 5 different videos that are just going to be summer cleaning. It's good to have those times where you just clean your entire home with some extreme cleaning, and that's what this is all about. So make sure you're subscribed and be on the lookout, because this is going to be an entire summer series. So down here, these are my everyday spring and summer shirts, and as you can tell, they are not like in very good color groups. I like all of my clothes to be like color coordinated, and these had gotten out of hand. So I'm taking out everything that I've already worn this year. And if you want to know more about how I organize my closet, I have an entire video explaining the details of that. But pretty much I just go through my closet about twice a year, and if there's any hangers that are still backwards from the beginning of the year, I decide if I'm going to keep or get rid of those. And I did get rid of a few things today, but this method just keeps me on track and helps me realize what I've worn and what I haven't worn. So I will link that video down below so you guys can check that out. It explains it a little bit more in depth. Right now I'm just kind of going through all of these summer and spring shirts that I've already worn this year, and I'm just putting them back into their colored sections, and then I'll place them back into the closet, and it looked a world better after I finished that. And then this area towards the back of my closet is where I keep most of my dressy tops, and instead of taking all of those out, since they weren't as bad as my everyday tops, I'm just kind of going through and straightening out the hangers and just making sure everything's in their color coordinated places. And then on the bottom of this side of the closet, there were some shoes under there and some boots and some more random things that are usually in a cube that I have under here, but I needed to pull the cube out and use it for something else. So everything that is in this storage cube was just kind of thrown in the bottom of the closet, so I'm gonna put that back in there, and then it'll make everything look a little bit better. And unfortunately, my closet is not like massive, so I have to use every single little ounce of space. But the closet was looking so much better after I just took a few minutes, straightened it all up. Now I'm moving on to my shoes, and as you can see, same thing. They just get out of hand, and I'm constantly getting new shoes. My mom is constantly buying me new shoes, which I'm so happy about that. I'm so thankful about that. I'm not complaining. but it's just hard to keep them all organized. So I'm constantly having to find new ways of how to store these, but I find a way. I don't have much of a method as to how I organize my shoes, but one thing that I did this time after I finished wiping it all down with the Clorox and vacuumed the floor of the closet, one thing that I did do is I put all of my more summery heels, I put them where I would see them more. Sometimes you wear an outfit and you just wear like, you know, your regular sandal heels with it, or you'd wear like a pair of like navy shoes, and then you go back and you're like, oh, I had some really cute pink shoes or some gray shoes or some nude shoes that would have looked better with that, but because I didn't see them and they weren't like right in front of my face, I didn't even think about putting those with that outfit. So I'm trying to put more of my shoes that I wouldn't necessarily use on a regular basis, trying to put those out where they're more in front of my eyes so that I can think about them and maybe find some outfits to go with them specifically. All right, next on the list, after my closet, I wanted to organize this nightstand drawer, and this thing is constantly needing to be reorganized. Probably because I have a ton of things in here. I have lots of paper, some books, things that I like to keep near my bed, just in case, you know, at night if I need to write something down. I have this thing at night when I lay down, my brain starts thinking and I'm like, oh, I need to make a to-do list of things for tomorrow, or oh, I can't forget to do such and such. So I always want to have paper close by my bed, and of course books if I want to read before bed or when I wake up in the morning. I just keep those things close to my bed, but they seem to get really unorganized. So I'm working on that right now, and I'm using our Musu cordless vacuum to vacuum any little bits of dust before I move everything back in and organize it. The next drawer that I needed to go through was my pajama drawer, and this thing is so hard to keep organized, probably because I have a ton of pajamas in here and they're just hard. If I want to pull one pair out, it seems like they all just fall and get completely unorganized. So I found a solution to this. I have all of my winter and summer pajamas together in this drawer. So I'm separating them, and I'm gonna put all of my winter pajamas in the closet out of the way. That way it's just my summer pajamas, and then when it comes winter time, I'll switch them out, wash all of those, give them a fresh clean, and then put all my summer pajamas away. And this gave me plenty of room. All right, moving to drawer number 3 for today. This drawer it keeps all of my undershirts, and then I also keep like my deodorant and some of my perfumes and some of my body sprays. I keep them close by. Instead of having to go find them on the other side of the room, I just have them right here, so when I'm getting ready, they're just nice and close. So I'm taking everything out like I did the drawer before, vacuuming it, and then I'm gonna place everything back in a more neat and orderly fashion. For those of you who are brand new here, I just wanted to say hi. I'm Courtney Lynn. I'm 20 years old, and I started this YouTube channel to help inspire and encourage others as they clean their homes every day, whether you're a working mom, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, even if you're not a mom, even if you're just looking for some cleaning motivation, I'm so glad that you stopped by today. I hope that you will stick around, and by doing that, you can subscribe to my channel and we can stay connected here. Alright, so this drawer right here is just simply for my skirts, my everyday skirts, and just recently I've gotten some more like athletic skirts, so I'm needing to make room for them to where I can fit everything in here a little bit better. And I did end up realizing that I just don't have enough room in this drawer, so I ended up taking some of my printed skirts and I'm gonna hang those up in the closet, and then I placed all of my jean skirts into this drawer and it worked out good. Alright, so moving on to the other side of my bedroom. This is our chest of drawers, and the top drawer had already been organized. My sister did it not too long ago. The second drawer is just scarves, so I don't get into that anytime in the summer, so it wasn't bad. And then this third drawer is just all of our hats, and we have a ton of hats, so I'm just gonna go through. If there's any hats that we don't want, I'm gonna get rid of, which I don't think I got rid of very many because I love hats, but I'm just gonna kind of put them in color categories, so that way when I'm looking for a certain color, it will be easy to find. Whenever I travel, I like to buy a new hat from wherever I'm at. So I have hats, from all over the country. I had hats from New York, from Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, some different events and things that we've been to. I like to buy hats to commemorate what we've done. So this is how I've accumulated a lot of hats, but it's a lot of memories in this drawer. All right, moving on to the next drawer right under the hats. This is kind of more of a random drawer, kind of a catch-all, as you can see. But this drawer holds my sunglasses, some of my winter beanies and head wraps and gloves, things like that. And then also some old CDs that I do not want to get rid of. I know nobody uses CDs anymore, but I can't get rid of these CDs. I feel so emotionally attached to them, so I'm keeping them here. But this drawer is just super random, but I still like for it to be organized. So I store my sunglasses in this little plastic bin, and they didn't all fit in here. And then I remembered that I do like to keep at least 1 or 2 pairs of sunglasses in my car, because I'll get in my car to go somewhere and I'll forget my glasses, so then I'll get my glasses out of my car and then I'll end up taking them inside. So I like to keep a couple pairs in there, so that's where I took some of those sunglasses too. Okay guys, now this last drawer is almost overwhelming to me. This is definitely kind of a catch-all. So I like to put some of my Bath & Body Works sprays in here, also some lotions, some little travel sprays, things like that. I like to keep into this drawer. And then I have any type of cords, phone cases, electronics, anything like that, I also keep in this drawer. So when you don't have a lot of room and you don't have a ton of space to store everything, you just kind of have to make do with what you got. So that's why this has multiple functions. But I kind of went through everything, got rid of some stuff, and then just reorganized it all. And this is the last drawer that I'm doing today here in my organization video. And I did also have on the list to organize underneath my bed. But I do have an under the bed storage container under there right now, but the lid is broken to it. and I need to buy a new one, and I just keep forgetting to buy one. But I'm gonna wait to organize that until I get a brand new one, because things won't stay organized unless I have a brand new lid on it. So there was kind of no point to that, but this organization felt so good when I finished it all. Even though I was kind of not wanting to do it, it felt a little bit overwhelming. But instead of organizing my entire room, every single drawer, I just went through and chose what needed to be done, what was the worst, and that's what I did today. And it felt much better than having to do the entire room. So I'm crossing all of the organizational stuff off of my list, and now it's time to move on to the cleaning part. So if you're still with me, I hope your cleaning's going good. I'm taking a little break to refill my iced coffee to give me some more fuel to keep going on this clean. So if you're here with me still, go ahead and reward yourself with a break or with a drink to keep yourself going. So I made my bed at the beginning of this video. That was kind of to get all the pillows and everything off of the floor, but now I'm going to be dusting my fan and getting all the spider webs down here in this room, and I don't want it to get on my pillows or my comforter or my quilt. So I'm taking all of these things out of the bedroom, and the only thing I'm going to leave on the bed right now is the sheets. So what I'm doing at this moment is I took a lint roller and I'm going over the entire top of my bedspread, just because I don't want to wash this thing very often, but it does get dusty just like my furniture. So I'm taking a lint roller and picking up any little bit of dust. And as you can see here in just 1 second, the lint roller picked up a lot of stuff. Then I went ahead and folded up that quilt, moved it out of the room so it wouldn't get dirty as I cleaned the fan right above it. So I'm taking the lint roller once again with a clean paper, and I'm doing the same thing to our quilt that we have in here. And even though this thing is underneath our bedspread all of the time, it still was pretty dusty as well, as you can see. And since I'm not washing this either or the blanket underneath it, I went ahead and moved both of those out of the room. Alright, so let's check out this fan in here. It hadn't been cleaned in a few months, and as you can tell, it was starting to get pretty bad. And I also had a light out in this fan up here. So I'm going to be unscrewing this little dome thing, the light cover I guess it's called, taking that light out. So I'm using a little Swiffer duster to get the top of the fan, and then I'm taking one of my pillowcases that I'm fixing to wash, placing it over the blade and pulling all of that dirt out into the pillowcase. This works so good because it just saves all of that dirt in there. Instead of landing everywhere else in your room, it saves it into that pillowcase. Then I'm taking the same Swiffer duster and I'm just dusting each of the blades. And of course this is knocking some dirt onto the ground and onto the bed, but I left the sheets on there because I'm going to be washing those today. So I got a brand new light bulb to put here. So the cleaner that I'm using for the fan is this Touch of Purple, which I will link below. This stuff works really good to clean the blades, and it claims to not only help clean them, but it also claims to keep them clean for a longer amount of time than other cleaners. I wanted you to see the inside of this pillowcase, the same one that I used to clean each blade. It did a great job. Alright, next thing on my list was to make sure and get all the spider webs down. Now, I didn't see any spider webs, but I know spider webs are sometimes hard to see, so I just make it a habit to go around the entire room, every corner, wherever the ceiling meets the wall, and go over that with a broom and make sure that all spider webs, if there are any, get caught. All right, moving on to this window. So I'm taking my Swiffer duster, the same one that I used on the fan, and I'm dusting all around the window, and then I'm dusting these blinds. Now at the beginning of the year, I went through and I wiped down, with a rag every single blade on these blinds. And so I feel like that lasts me about a year. If I continue to keep it dusted, then I only have to wipe them down about once a year because the Swiffer does a great job keeping dust off of them. And I'm just taking some Windex and a microfiber cloth and cleaning up this window. So now I'm gonna start dusting my furniture here in my room, and I'm starting here at my dresser and using some spray white glass cleaner to clean this mirror in here. And if you are new and you haven't been here very long, I recently, like at the beginning of this year, which it's been 6 months now, it's crazy to think. I just think that, January was last month, but it's been about 6 months now. We redid my bedroom, and my bedroom used to be hot pink and purple. So if you're interested in seeing a major transformation, I'll link that video as well, and you can check out my room makeover. As well as dusting the tops of all the furniture, I made sure to dust all of the drawers and the sides of all the furniture. And then this chest of drawers here on the other side of our room, I videoed dusting the top of the dresser, and then I realized that my camera wasn't actually videoing it. So usually every video I have 1 or 2 mess ups like that. Can you say beginner or what? But I'm learning and I'm trying to do better each week. But I did film me dusting the rest of this area of the room. Also, another thing on my list was all of the baseboards and chair railing here in this room needed to be dusted as well. Also taking a lint roller to this chair to keep it nice and cleaned. Now I'm taking some Sprayway glass cleaner and the same microfiber cloth that I used on the windows, and I'm cleaning these big mirrors that we have here in our bedroom. These things are awesome. I love these big mirrors. They make the room feel so much bigger. They open up the space, but they are kind of a big job to keep clean. They don't always look dirty, but if you get a little speck on them or something, it kind of drives me insane. So I like to keep these things clean, and you get a really good arm workout when you're cleaning these things. Crossing things off my to-do list feels so good, and I'm continuing to move on to the next thing. Now it's time to wash these sheets. I'm going to throw them in the wash while I finish up this room. So if you have been here any amount of time, you will know that our Dyson cordless vacuum just kind of gave up the ghost. Well, we bought a brand new battery for it, and it works so good. And one thing that we had missed from not having our Dyson was this little attachment to it, which is a little roller head that you can use on the top of your mattresses. You can use it on your couches, you can use it on pillows, things like that, and it does a great job. It made the mattress look so much better and feel so much cleaner after I used this little attachment on it. So instead of using a cordless vacuum today, since it's more of a deep clean and extreme clean, I brought out the old faithful, the Dyson vacuum. This thing does an amazing job, of course, but today I'm doing a slow vacuum job on it, and I'll show you how slow I'm going in just a second. But I'm vacuuming this room extremely slow. Here we go. I just felt like if I went slower, that it would do a better job of not only picking up dirt and dust, but that it would also help, refresh the carpet a little bit. If that head could spin on it a little bit more on the carpet, it made the carpet look fluffier and feel softer. I would absolutely love to hear from you guys. So if you'd like to go ahead and comment down below, let me know where you're from, what you're doing, if you're cleaning along with me today, or if you're just watching for motivation. Whatever you're doing, comment down below and let me know. I would love to chat with you guys. So this little thing that I'm using right here, I've used it once before in one of my videos, but this is a rubber rake. And pretty much it has two functions. Number one, it helps kind of fluff up the carpet a little bit, and it feels really good after you do this. The carpet feels really nice and soft. And the second thing is it catches any hair. Now my sheets are clean and I am making this bed once again. It feels so nice to have clean sheets on this bed. This room felt amazing when I had finished all of the organizing, all of the cleaning, and everything was done. Everything was dusted, cleaned, vacuumed. It felt so good to get this extreme clean finished. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you got a lot done if you were cleaning alongside me today. be on the lookout for this summer cleaning series. I'm super excited about it, and I know that if you're in need of some summer cleaning motivation, that you will find it here on my channel. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for more to come. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.